Hello, everyone out there listening, and welcome back to another episode of your Slightly Mighty podcast, the local podcast dedicated to the many musicians, venue owners, and concert promoters who call Charleston, South Carolina their home. My name is Hop, your host and humble facilitator, and today will be our 17th episode together. We are certainly in the home stretch now with just 3 more episodes to go. It's been a wonderful experience, and it's really helped me reflect on my musical journey and what's still ahead, so really thank you all for listening. As stated before, all of our previous conversations are available for free on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and YouTube. You can also find short video clips on the SMP YouTube channel if you're interested in seeing what it is we look like and where we take the show. If you would like to help grow the show, please share the show on whatever social media platforms you inhabit. Special thanks, as always, to Drew Madden of Maybank Public House for allowing SMP to exist here. So show them some love, stop by, reserve the big table for yourself. Cold beer and warm faces await you. Sitting down with us today, we have guitarist and bassist and pretty much anything else he wants to do, Mr. Noah Jessup. During the course of the show, we'll be listening to a couple of his super funky tracks from his Of the Heart original music project, which is honestly some of the best music I've heard come out of Charleston. No lie. Which you probably already heard. Up until a few days ago, I thought this was going to be a one-on-one interview show until Noah surprised me by bringing along a mutual friend of ours, Charleston-based saxophonist Mr. Jamal Hall. We'll be hearing some music he recorded with local troubadour Johnny Holliday and the Silver Lining. Both of these men are widely respected and well-known musicians here in Charleston. However, they're both just great guys too, and I'm excited to have them here with us today. Welcome to the show, gentlemen, and thanks for having some time to sit and chat with us.
What's up?
All right.
Thank you for having us, man.
Hey, no problem, man. I'm looking forward to it. So let's get started. First experiences, some training. How did you get started down this road of music? Noah, you want to start us off? What are some early teachers you might have had? What got you playing the guitar? Anything.
The music journey. Well, I was lucky enough to, I guess, just be a tiny little kid. My dad had an interest in guitars. Didn't play much, but liked the idea of having one sit in the room. So as a tiny little kid, had the option of having a guitar in the room, and that turned into a love for it. Fast forward, I kind of got a chance to go through the, educational process of music and formal education.
What was that like? Where'd you go?
Well, I grew up in North Jersey, so I had access to all the music programs in New York City, and there were some amazing, just murderers that dominant on the music scene there, and just great players. So to be just blessed, honestly, just so fortunate. Like every time I think about that, to be able to have that upbringing as a kid, I think that was the best situation for where I grew up, having access to people in New York City playing music. So music camps, music teacher, all that kind of stuff. Went to Berklee College of Music, and then just...
What'd you get out of Berklee?
What I get out of it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I think like any person that goes to school for music can have a similar takeaway. And I think that you look back on the experience of, music education, that kind of niche, music school thing. You look back on the experience and say, wow, I learned a lot. But the number one thing that I realize now in the real world that I didn't learn is how to monetize the craft, right? So you learn how to develop it, create something special. You learn how to add value in any creative scenario. It's not just about being amazing at one thing. It's about presenting yourself as a creative identity, and how can you add value to any sort of creative situations, particularly music. So yeah, music school definitely teaches you that, but it doesn't necessarily teach you how to monetize your craft.
Okay.
So you kind of have to go out into the real world, I think, and experience things. And
So when you say add value, can you break that down, bro?
yeah, so I think that, like, have you ever heard basketball IQ? They say LeBron James is basketball IQ. Understanding what to do, knowing the next chord, being able to anticipate musical decisions before they happen, and then also being able to step back and listen and say, hey, listen, if I'm on the guitar right now, here's what the music needs. Hey, there's already somebody on a guitar. What other instrument can I pick up, and how else can I add to the music and make it something better than it is already?
Okay, is that something that you learn in a book, or is that something that you learned in like group sessions, or
Something when you're a kid,
okay,
and you're with a bunch of other kids, and they all play instruments,
All right.
and you have somebody in the room that's just rotating you around, and then you get a little bit older and you're in that same situation, and then you're at a place like Berkeley and you're in that exact same situation where you're with a bunch of studio nerds in the studio and you all play instruments, but maybe this track needs bass and none of you maybe played bass for 10 years up until that point, and you just started because of that need for it. So yeah, that to tie that back, that's what I mean by adding value. And that's what I think the benefit of going through formal music education is it'll show you how to look at a musical situation, create a scenario, and figure out how you can add value as a musician yourself.
So when you were in school, were you you were gigging too, or you kind of waited until the end, or how did that work?
Yeah, there were some gigs. I got introduced to gigging when I was in high school. Some stuff in North Jersey, some stuff in New York City. And then, when you're in Boston, there's some gigs out there. As a student, it's a little more difficult to get to the gigs that, you and I, as gig musicians, or in Jamal too, would consider fun. It's a little bit harder to get to those as maybe you're not even of drinking age.
Oh, I see.
And then in a city like Boston, it's dominated by sports. I mean, I love sports, but Boston's dominated by sports. It's tough. It's a tough gigging culture out there. So in terms of the gigging and hitting the gig scene hard, that was when I moved to Charleston and I was introduced to other people that were gigging full time. And I just was like, oh my God, you guys can do this? This is a thing.
Yeah.
And so I just I just did exactly what they were doing, and that's how I wound up gigging.
When did you come to Charleston?
2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, man? Where did you come from? How'd you get here? Where did you first decide you wanted to be the horn man? What's up?
Well, yeah, it's been a long walk. So I'm originally from Newark, Delaware. My earliest musical memories were riding with my dad to kindergarten in the morning. And he had this white cassette tape. It was Average White Band, Pick Up the Pieces.
Okay.
And we were in this Chevy Blazer. So I just remember the seats were red. Everything was red. We were just sitting there, red seat belt, everything. And he would turn to me. He was driving. He was like, hey, Maul, here's your cut. And he would put it in. And he was like, da 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 da. I'd be listening to that. I was like, oh shit, yeah, man. Yeah, okay. So I would ride with him to kindergarten in the morning.
As a kindergartner, you're thinking, shit.
Yeah, I'm like, and I told
all your friends who the fuck is this guy?
I was like, I was 4 years old thinking, oh shit, this is the shit right here, I said that to my teacher and I got kicked out. But no, my teachers asked me wait, Jamal, what's your favorite song? They were asking all the kids, what's your favorite song? I like The Wheels on the Bus. Oh, I like Mary Had a Little Lamb. I like Pick Up the Pieces. Oh, okay. Well, that's an old song, Jamal. Wow, wow. I didn't know you knew that. Wow.
So was it? So you said it was your father that introduced you to that.
My father introduced me to that. My father, both my parents love music.
They players or no?
Neither of them are musicians. Okay. We don't have any musicians in our family, other than my great aunt was a piano teacher, but I didn't really have much of a relationship with her. So yeah, my dad wanted to be a bass player.
Good for him.
He
best instrument, right?
Good aspiration.
Damn, that's another memory that I have. He would be walking around the house just humming bass line.
Right.
Dum dum bum 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 dum bum bum bum. He's just making up shit just randomly. And
so you like funky stuff.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Excellent.
That's all the shit. We would listen to George Clinton. We listened to Average White Band. We listened to James Brown, Maceo Parker. So he was listening to the bass, and I love the bass too. I love bass guitar. I love it. But the saxophone was what caught me, because I'm here and I was like, that's cool. And he liked saxophone too, but I don't think he liked it as much as I did. So I was listening for that.
Okay.
And so it was cool. It was funny because he would pick me up in the morning and my mom would pick me up in the afternoon to take me home. And so I was kind of getting both worlds. I was hearing stuff from the 70s and 80s with my dad, and then my mom would have on what was on in the 90s. And so there were a few songs. I remember there was a song I Love Your Smile. That song. There's a saxophone solo in that song by Branford Marsalis.
Okay.
And at the time, I didn't know all of this, but like, I thought to myself, I'm like, well, I thought the saxophone was a singer that didn't sing any words. And
That's a good way of putting it.
I thought that's what it was. I thought, and I'm like, and I kept hearing the saxophone in all these different songs, and I'm like, dang, this guy is like everywhere. Like, I'm thinking it's the same person. And then like I start seeing on like
the busiest guy ever.
like this guy is on the songs, all the gigs, he's getting all the money. Like, yeah, but no, I'm seeing on the award shows like and everything that there's like a bunch of guys playing this weird instrument. Like, that's cool, And I never really got to actually playing the saxophone until I was about like 16. In high school.
It's about when I started playing bass, actually.
I started playing clarinet when I was 10, which that happened because it was 4th grade. They were passing around like these sheets of paper and they're saying, all right, kids, if you want to play an instrument for the summer music program, here, choose your instrument. I'm like, okay, all right. And so I'm looking on the sheet and I'm like, they got trumpet, they got clarinet, flute, saxophone, your typical band instruments. And I'm like, what messed me up was that SpongeBob came out that year. It was about 1999 and Squidward played the clarinet. And
so you want to be Squidward?
Yeah, I wanted to be Squidward.
Oh, you did?
I thought that had a huge influence on me. No, seriously. I'm not even joking. So I picked up the clarinet because of that show.
I hear you.
So I started doing that. And then after about 6 years of clarinet, I started getting frustrated with clarinet because it wasn't loud.
Right.
Clarinet's pretty quiet.
It's not commanding like the sax can be.
It's a great instrument. It's beautiful, but it has its limits. And all my friends were asshole trumpet players. And they were like, just like blasting me out. And I'm like, I hate you guys, so I started taking the saxophone and I basically taught myself saxophone based off of what I learned from clarinet because they're pretty
similar fingerings, correct?
Pretty much the same thing. If you know one, you can do the other, It's hard for a saxophone player to go to clarinet because clarinet it's really tight and really just,
Talking about the embouchure?
The embouchure has to be like really hard. But saxophone, you have to relax. You have to take it. It's almost not even that. Yeah, it's almost the opposite of it. But yeah, saxophone is awesome. I picked it up when I was 16. I kept playing it. I never thought that I could make a career out of music. Like when I was 16, 17, 18, I didn't think I could do that.
What was your career plans at 16 then?
When I was 18, like I didn't know that studying music was an option.
Oh, okay.
Like I didn't know that was a thing in college. I didn't have that in my mind. I liked doing it. I liked playing, but I didn't really have a clear idea of what I wanted to do with my life at that time. So when I got to college, I was kind of figuring myself out a bit, So I started. I did try out for the music school. Obviously, didn't get in because I wasn't prepared for that at all. But I tried out. I tried engineering. I'm not good at math, so that didn't work out. I then
sucks, man.
Went to history because I was also very good at history in high school. I took AP US history. I got a 3 on the test. I did not study for that. If I'd studied, I would have got like a 4 or 5. I got it. So I took history, and that just opened my eyes to like the world.
Current projects. What are we doing? And honestly, this show doesn't come out in any kind of timely order at all. I think the show comes out in maybe July. We're on a long delay, so
Gotcha.
What are you guys doing now? What's up?
Well, you go.
You go ahead, Jamal.
Oh, I'm not doing nothing. You go.
You guys should arm wrestle for who gets to say. I'm just kidding. What are you doing, Noah?
You're the man.
What am I doing? Dude, I don't even know what I'm doing. I wake up every day, ask myself what I'm doing. But I think with projects on the horizon, I got the recording still going on. Shark Attack recording is going strong.
Okay.
And trying to develop more of a concrete, a concrete sound. It's hard. It's hard to get a sound that you can apply to each and every individual recording and not install too much of your own influence on what you are recording. You know what I mean? So there's
Right.
definitely a balance of serving as like, hey, do you want to record people and have this service that is like you're just cataloging audio recordings? You know, that's a service that you're providing people. Or do you want to produce music? And when you produce music, you naturally are making a lot of decision making that influences the music.
You're
So
bringing your personality and your choices.
It'll sound a certain way. So in terms of projects on the horizon, I am working on projects right now that kind of accept that hey, we can create a sound, we can make it sound a certain way.
Almost like a label then, ish.
Yeah, I mean,
Close-ish.
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a whole deeper conversation about, you know,
That's why we're here.
what it means to be a label.
That's why we're here.
And freaking the future of the music industry and all that. But
Well, let's hear what you think. I mean, you still own that same studio, right, in North Charleston?
so the North Charleston studio that I was in, the landlord found a tenant for that place.
Okay.
That was going to come in and meet him at his desired rate. So he gave me the opportunity to continue at a higher clip. I was like, I love this place. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But I can't maintain it at that price.
Right.
So I'm going to, politely say no. I'm going to rock some things in the home stew. So I'm not really sure what happened with that studio because I got out of there. And then I'm not sure if the new tenant came in and what's going on there. Apparently it's supposed to be like a CBD dispensary.
Oh.
But everything that I had in that studio, I found a way to bring back into my house, including all the racks and all the gear and stuff like
sweet.
that, all the drum set I got set up. And I want to build a studio. And so I think that this is kind of how a lot of producers think right now. And producers spanning across it's not just music, it's content, media, visual, audio, like all that kind of stuff. Building your space is
Owning the means of production, for sure.
yeah, just and being able to create the facility that can do exactly what you need it to do. You know what I mean? You can create a space that's great for podcasting, and it's great as a music studio, and it's great as an escape that's near your backyard. So my 1 to 2 year goal is to find a situation where I can take all the equipment that was in the studio and put it in a space that's more developed.
Cool.
You know, that previous recording studio, vibes all the way, had
Yeah,
mojo,
great vibes.
had good mojo.
Had a good sound. The drum kit in there sounded great, man.
Yeah, drums sounded really good in there. After going through that studio experience, I know exactly what a professional studio needs, or a content space, a media space needs to, be able to do all those different things and stuff like that. So why not build it,
Yeah, good luck, man. Absolutely.
So that's what's going on with Shark Attack.
So that is your focus then, Shark Attack right now, or
Well,
you're kind of like, are you like guitar gun for hire too, or I mean, I know you're doing bass gigs a lot now too.
no, it's like half and half bass and guitar right now. I've been loving playing the bass and just getting funky with that instrument.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, the gigs, I mean, you gotta, all right, so this is, you guys can agree or disagree with this, but you kind of got to look at music right now into two different subcategories. I'm talking about music in general. You have like recording and documentation, media, social media, Instagram, podcasts, audio recording albums, etc. Okay.
Content creation.
Content, all that.
Right.
All that. Then you have the other pillar, which is the performing arts. So that's like you playing at venues, buying tickets, restaurants, weddings, like every single opportunity where there is.
That's how I see it too, especially in Charleston. Charleston is the epitome of that at this point.
It's basically the epitome of that, yeah. So that essentially is how I'm looking at music right now. It's those kind of two things, and they seem to be not as like mutual, right? Like they seem to not have growing apart from each other almost. Like there's a lot of differences between the wedding scene and what you're doing when you're like recording full time in a studio, right? And there's definitely crossover with musicians and like things that you can do on the stage that you can do of course in a studio. But just in terms of the industry side of things, talking about transactions, a financial transaction, the content creation, media, all that stuff, that is pretty far away from the transaction of going out and playing gigs and receiving money for a service, entertainment service that you're providing. So I think that every day, you have the opportunity to create something in both scenarios. You have an opportunity to like go out and play music and create something, which is amazing. right? So you don't take that for
Yeah.
granted. So being able to do both, being able to record and help people make music and want to create media and want to create videos that are about music and stuff, I think that it's easier to do that when you have the experience of going out and playing and being part of that performing arts pillar that we're talking about. But at the end of the day, I think that if you want to be happiest, then you have to make an influence. Like, you have to influence people. They have to feel a certain way when you play or when they think about you playing and stuff like that. And sometimes I think what I'm learning now is that the more involved you are with just music, the more difficult it is to kind of spread that influence. And I think that we're literally being forced by the industry to be innovative. And I think that could be a good thing, but it could also be a very dangerous thing, because you know how musicians are. A lot of musicians are not innovative, and they're not thinking about the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Right. They're so involved in their thing, in the music or in their business, not on their business, that type of thinking. So, yeah, I mean, I think that tying back to what you said, where do you see yourself happy? Where does anybody see themselves happy? Is you got to be innovative. Like, you won't be happy unless you're unique and you have influence and you're innovating.
Somehow.
Can't just live in the weddings forever. I mean, technically you can, yes, but you as a player, if you're not innovating in those situations, dude, you're just gonna freaking fry.
Get stale.
You just become freaking fried calamari, dude.
Calamari, which I like a lot. What about you, Jamal? What are some things that you're doing right now? What's your projects?
Well, I don't really have any projects.
Well, who are you associating with? What are you doing? Tell me about it. Tell me about you do a lot of weddings, right? You do the Emerald Empire Band scene a lot.
Yeah, I do a lot of weddings.
How's that? People don't talk about that. It's like the dirty secret on the show. Like, almost everybody on the show has done an Emerald Empire Band.
So
nobody wants to see. We want to talk about it.
Talk about that. We don't talk about Emerald, but no. Emerald is fine. Emerald is Emerald. It's a thing that
it's kind of amazing in a way.
It is.
But, I mean, you can't deny that part of it.
Tell you about how I got into Emerald and how that. I mean, that was game changing for me, because I didn't know this existed before. Like, because I was it's like 2015, 2016 when I got here to Charleston. I was, first of all, the way I played saxophone, practiced saxophone back when I was in Philadelphia, I used to play on the street. I used to busk out at City Hall and just play for money. And sounds great. Yeah, it was. The acoustics in City Hall were like, the sound was bouncing everywhere. It was like being in an echo chamber. It was beautiful. I loved it. One time I met Benny Golson. He came out and he was like, "Hey man, I like your tone." I'm like, "Oh my God, thank you." Like, no, seriously. Like, I have a picture with him. I'll show it to you.
You did tip though, right?
Yeah. No, he didn't. He got the key to this.
That was your tip?
Yeah, that was his tip. Yeah.
Good tone, man.
He got the key to the city and left.
Right.
Rest in peace. But yeah, no. So that was kind of the mentality. That's like, I don't know, that's what I knew. So like, I came down to Charleston, I kind of did the same thing for a bit. And it wasn't necessarily for the money. It was just because I like to play. And I happened to get money off of it. But like, I got so many just nice moments with people, who just, "Oh my God, the saxophone was so nice. This made my evening. I love that." But one night I was out there and Manny Houston, I met him. He came over. He said, hey, my band is over playing over here. Why don't you come over here in like 20 minutes? I'm like, okay. So I went over there and I played with him. And next thing I know, he got me into Emerald, and they got me a gig. My first Emerald was in Seabrook Island, for $300. And that blew my mind right there, because that was the most I've ever made on a gig at that point. I was like, I didn't know you could make this kind of money off this. I was like, wow, man. Like, oh my God.
It's better than 100.
Yeah, it's better than 100. Yeah. Yes, correct.
What else are you doing? I know you play with other people too.
Well, I play with Emerald Empire Band. I play with the Queen City Band from Charlotte. Shout outs to them. I play with Dream Day Weddings. They do DJ Sam Warfield. He's booking me on some stuff.
Cool.
Giving me some good money for that. God, I play with DJ Dexter, DJ Rehab, DJ some DJ with Palmetto Strings. Palmetto Strings. I play with them now.
That's cool.
God.
So you broadened your professional contacts.
I am everywhere, man.
Okay.
Like I'm playing if just about everyone everywhere. Like I'm just out there. And yeah, Johnny Holliday, I play with him, you know. Right now, me, Corey Stevens, Campbell Brown, Patrick Marzette, Stacia, like, oh God, all those guys. We're putting together a new band called Broken Speakers.
Right. Well, they've been around for a while, though, right?
Broken Speakers?
Yeah, I thought so.
They probably have been, but I guess I'm in the latest incarnation of it.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I have. They play. A lot of those guys are down at the Sunday sessions, right? It's
Yeah, most of them are, yeah.
Yeah, most of them.
Which I was at a Sunday sessions last night. Yeah, that's another thing that I'd like to do. Basically, if it involves playing a saxophone, I'm doing it. Yeah.
So let's turn the attention to some music. Of the Heart. How do we get started with Of the Heart?
Of the Shart.
Of the Shart.
Of the Heart was that's from the Jay Dilla song, Donut of the Heart.
Okay.
Bow, 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 bow. They sampled a Michael Jackson song.
All right.
It's just called Donut of the Heart. If I can make music with other people, it's not guitar music. It's not music that's about me. Like if I could do anything to help make music, but also not have it reflect like all this self-aggrandizing behavior that's involved with releasing music and all the bullshit that comes with, look at me, pre-save my sing, like none of that bullshit. Right? So like Of the Heart is not supposed to be that. It's just, how can I get the people that I love together and musically, and let's just create something under one thing.
All right. So you got more to do with that, or is that kind of like an ongoing project then?
Plenty more going on with Of the
Got some
Heart.
stuff in the can right now?
I do, man. So much stuff from what we recorded at the studio.
Cool.
You know, for some reason, it feels like getting it from 0% to 80%. It's almost like takes 3 days to get it there.
Right.
80% to finished.
Takes the rest of your life.
Yeah, could take the rest of your life, dude. Oh
absolutely.
my God. So
that's a good way of putting it. So let's hear some. The Iliad of Moo Dang.
hell yeah.
Okay, now picking it up like loose change. I stay on the gram like Moodang, make biz like Bruce Wayne. And yeah, I make my money in the night. Bite down on the verse, cause my pocket's feeling tight. Down with the shit, I'm a hippo, you a hypocrite. Zookeeper tripping, he could get his leg bit. And yeah, I get the piece from the leaf. And yes, this is the tribe, and yes, I am the chief.
Cool chief, it's the feeling of a cool breeze. Incense burning, smoke vibrating the Fugees. It's the freedom that we touch in our dreams. It's the seed that grew into all the family trees. See, it's connection, reflection, perception, and different views. The artist and the muse, the harvest and the food, the bass and the groove, all the sound that you listen to. I found mine and my passions, put it in action. You foolish if you think I'm just rapping, I'm making shit happen. I had dreams of doing all this, they just thought I was capping. I was speaking affirmations, they just thought I was bragging. Now I got the team with me, feeling like I'm the captain. I stay up out of the way, but I ain't never been stagnant. How you boast and say you flying, but your feet still dragging. Even a fire breather couldn't catch a nigga like me lacking, huh?
Lyrical mycelium, get you higher than helium. They lack color, we fill them in. This is iller than Ritalin. Overdose, calm as a comatose. I take the noose to show them ropes. We need each other in this tug of war. My homies holding hope. Triple H, the pedigree different. I am the McMahon, no Stephanie with it. Heavenly business, all these visions we building. Blind sides hit blind spots, but we still get it.
Everybody going through their shit, but they still with it. Times get hard, but we still get it. Never stop, never still with it. I got a sick image. Picture us, all of us planting seeds to make a forest. Every root connected and we multiply after we forge it. Fuck around and make a fortress. In my mind, I can't afford it. In my soul, I wanna hold it. With this grind, I can't control it. With my people, I can mold it. Gorgeous.
Disconnected.
And we're back. So, guys, who are some Charleston musicians that you admire? These are just like some basic questions I want to run off real quick. I want to know who you've been listening to.
Charleston musicians specifically that I admire.
Yeah.
Okay, Tony Coben,
Cool.
Sean Bing, Demario, Kit. Just chill out over there.
He's like, fuck that guy.
Dude,
He's awesome.
Those
We
are
all
my-
know he's awesome. We know he's fucking around.
Yeah.
Those are my boys over there. And I mean, dude, the list goes deep. The bag is so deep, but constantly around those people, just in awe. I feel like a little kid.
I tried to get Tony Coben on the bass show I did, and it didn't work out for whatever reason. What is it about Tony's playing that you really admire?
It's just so it impacts the music so much.
Mm-hmm.
He's just, I mean, Hop, you know how it is. The bass is like, it's the responsibility. It's like they're handing you a certain key to the kingdom type of responsibility, right? And so you feel like you almost have this like weight to carry, because not only is it a heavy instrument that's like a big instrument to play, but it's like you are so impactful with every note that you play. So it's the confidence. And I think that's what we
he's
all
got
like.
that.
But when you touch the instrument and it's like, this dude's playing like he's not going to ever see this instrument again. Like this is his last time playing it. And
great.
And the decision making, the confidence in the decision making, it doesn't matter if it's wrong notes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ben Bennett as well, and a bunch of the other drummers that I love playing with. The young kid, Chris Barnwell, absolutely love him. And there's Liz Kelly, she's amazing. But what it comes down to is like the decisiveness, the confidence in
Right.
going for it and not being like hesitant. And I'm always inspired by that, you know?
So let's back up for a second, because I should have mentioned this before. Let's talk about the track. Barnwell was on that track we just listened to, right?
Oh yeah, Chris was on the track. Oh yeah,
Who
and
else is on the track?
All
Let's
those
talk about
people,
it.
all those people are amazing. Those are all inspirational. Lovett, Jonathan Lovett,
Yeah.
absolute wizard.
One of the best players in town,
Oh my
for sure.
God, dude.
Yeah,
Listening to him is like drinking like the best cup of coffee you've ever had.
interesting.
You're like, complex, rich. There's depth to it, but I just
Purposeful.
love it.
Yeah, he's got
Purposeful,
the
right?
game plan for sure.
No,
yeah.
Lovett is a fucking wizard. That dude is amazing. And Chris playing drums, amazing. I was playing bass on that. And then
You're a hell of a bass player, man.
thank you, Ron. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
it's real good.
I've been practicing. My fingers hurt. And then all the dudes that rapped on that, like Cody, who is obviously like the local leader in the Charleston rap scene, along with Indy Gold and those guys. And my buddy Droz was on there too. Shout out to Droz. I mean, the hip hop guys go so deep, and those guys are so cool, and they're eclectic. Their verses are, it's poetic. It's not like stupid. You know, they have something to say. There's messaging
It's interesting.
there, and they support each other big time. So, you know, that was one of those projects in the studio that was like, we just got together, started jamming, but you got to document that. It's not just about like putting out music, like I said in the beginning, and being like putting out music, you know, check out me, music, me. It's like, no, let's try to capture something. And ultimately like having that combination in Charleston that we know all too well of hip hop and live music. we're so accustomed to it. We're almost like desensitized to it. But like at the Poorhouse, what you're saying they were doing, the hip hop live music element, we got to document that somehow. And that's just what the Mood Dang thing was.
Yeah. And that's why we're here too.
Hell yeah.
Favorite Charleston musicians, Jamal, what you got?
Man, well, first of all, I got to give credit to Graham Worley, because I would not be in the Charleston music scene without Graham. So that's he's number one on my list. Wes Liston and Gritty Fly Right. You know, I've watched him for years go from a school teacher to a singer, songwriter, guitar player, musician, writing the most amazing lyrics, some of the most amazing lyrics to songs, and just a beautiful singing voice. You know, one of the best I know of around here.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he's doing amazing stuff. And it's been a great honor to play with him and just be involved with the project since the beginning, you know, so that's wonderful. God, pretty much everybody at the Sunday sessions last night, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That thing's getting off the chain.
Corey Stevens, man. Corey Stevens on that
anchor.
bass, man. Just, he is so creative.
Yeah.
He's always looking.
He pushes it.
He's always looking.
He pushes
for
it all around,
something
man.
else.
Up, down, left, right.
It's never ever the same thing with him. Like, I can never call him, and I don't know what he's gonna do next. Like, so he always keeps me on my toes, and I love.
You know what? You know what? Corey listens.
Yeah.
Great listener.
He listens and responds.
Yes, he
does.
does.
I mean, like, I know a lot of it is his directions too, because he's a really good band leader on the stage and
That too.
Listening.
But he listens a lot.
That too.
Yeah.
And years of hearing great players, being able to listen to great players.
He's
for
had so
years.
many good situations he's been in over the years.
Yeah.
Like he's been doing the Motown Throwdown for forever. I mean, like the study that goes into that.
Yeah.
Bro is a beast.
He's ridiculous. So I love hanging with him.
So, what are some advice for being a professional Charleston musician? What are some things you could share with some of the guys just coming up, maybe listening? You know, some things that you could tell them. That, I mean, not everything, but just a couple things that might help somebody get their act off the ground.
Be nice.
Be nice.
Be a good person. Be humble.
Be humble.
You know, be willing to take direction. Show people what you do. Put yourself out there. Like, we're all walking around. Everyone has a camera in their pocket. Everyone is constantly glued to their phones and the social media. You know, you have an opportunity. You don't need the state-of-the-art equipment. You know, you just need what you have. You have a camera. You have audio right on your phone. Take a video, post it, show people what you do, show people that you know how to play, and literally everything else is going to fall into place, because people are going to see you and they're going to be like, wow, that guy's really good. Maybe I want him in my band. Maybe I want him at my gig. Maybe I want him at my wedding. You know, every single video, every single post.
It's kind of a constant audition. Is that what you're saying?
It's an opportunity, you know, or a recording. Record a song, write a song, put it out there. You know, if it's really good, people really like it, hey, you know, it might go somewhere. You know, Every little action, every little thing is an opportunity to meet someone. You never know who's watching.
Definitely true. I would piggyback on everything you're saying. I agree with you. I'd piggyback on that and say, remember what you're doing. Have fun. Okay? Remember when you're going to play a restaurant, okay? Just remember when it doesn't go exactly how you envisioned it to go, like whatever small minor inconvenience arises, tables need to be moved, your particular manager's not there, they get your order wrong, whatever. It's dinner. Okay? Don't forget that you are playing music for dinner.
Right. People are trying to eat their steak.
Exactly.
And they're paying you to play your instrument.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Yeah, it's fun. And I think that it's so easy to lose sight of that when you're like anything in your life, because life happens, dude. Life happens. Stress happens. And then music doesn't become fun. And then it becomes
chore.
Yeah, and it's more than a job, because then you're performing. So you're like this court jester. It's like, dude, this is not what we're not doing this. Yeah. So that is, I would say, remember that all as much as you can. It's like, hey, if you're performing at the Poorhouse across the street, your job is to have fun, because everybody there is going to feed off your energy. If you're playing at a wedding, your job is to make sure they have fun. And the easiest way to do that is you having fun, you know? And then if you're playing at a restaurant, just remember what the role you're serving is. You know what I mean? We're there to be background music, and that's okay because we said yes to
Yeah.
it. It's not okay if you don't say yes to it. Like you can say
That's an interesting point. I feel that same way when I hear people complaining about the things that we're here for that. We're here for the reason that you're mad. Why are you mad?
right. And you have total freedom to decline, right? And I think that because music and music opportunities are it's such a wild thing when you experience it. You say yes to everything.
Yeah.
When you say yes to everything, because I say yes to everything, and I know this, I'm speaking from experience, you start to notice imbalances in gigs and start calling that out.
Getting ready to say that exact same thing. I don't mean to derail you, but I was thinking it seems to me that a lot of times that comes from an imbalance in that the performing part of it, which you do make instant money, and a lot of people need it, for various things. I need it myself, versus the art part, and the reason why we got into the craft in the first place. Not everybody got into it just to play dinner sets, which some people did. That's great. I know a lot of people who that's the reason for getting into music is to be in the school band, the marching band, and they followed a path that kind of led them into like that commercial side of performance, I should say. But I think that imbalance is correct. So so you recommend keeping the balance?
Well, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to keep balance. I don't know if that's something that you go through every day, saying that I'm going to apply equal seesaw balance to my life.
It's a moving target.
Just don't forget what you're doing. Just make sure that you just don't forget what you're doing, right? And someone in your band is not going to show up on time. Someone in your band is not going to be wearing the right thing. They're not going to learn the music. Remember what you're doing. Remember why we're here, right? If you're at Commodore, if you're at whatever venue, insert venue, okay? Just take a deep breath and say, yo, we are here to be like entertainment. Like we're putting on a performative show for these people to engage with, right? It's awesome when we hit all the chords and the breaks, okay? But that is not why we're here. You know what I mean? So don't make it about why, like we're here for them, right? The tighter we are, the better experience they're going to have. At the end of the day, we're here for them.
Oh, cool.
And there are just so many people that are jealous of us. They're just
You mean sitting in the crowd?
In the world. Yeah.
In the world.
Just generally, if I had a nickel for every time someone came up to me and said, I played saxophone in the 5th grade.
Right.
Oh, man, I wish I didn't stop. I played back when I was in,
I tell them to pick it up whenever I hear that same thing.
And I'm like,
go grab an instrument.
And I'm like, it's
it.
not too late. You can still do it. And it's like, oh no, I'm old now. I have the kids. I can't really do it. And I was like, well, darn. Anyway, watch.
Sorry about your luck.
Anyway, watch this.
Right. Watch this. Live vicariously through me.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Yeah.
So, what are some things you guys look for when you are thinking about a project to sign yourself up for? You were talking earlier about like the concept of making yourself kind of a brand in a way. We live in a world where we are brands. I mean, Instagram is you creating a brand for yourself, basically. Nobody ever puts the day. Well, some people overshare on there, but nobody ever puts their shittiest day on there. You know what I mean? It's always like everybody's having a great time all the time, forever. In this Instagram world. But how do you select projects that you hook your brand to? Are you looking to like expand, redefine?
For me, it's
for having fun.
It's about the fun. It's about the people.
The people and the fun.
It's like, who am I working with? Who have I got on the gig with me? Like, is that my favorite? Is that one of my favorite drummers? Is my favorite guitar player? Is my favorite bass players? Maybe it's somebody I don't know. Maybe it's a new guy. That's exciting. I'm like, what's this guy gonna do? That's cool. What sound is he gonna? Everyone has we got bass players all over the city, but each one brings something different. Each guitar player brings something different. Noah has his thing. Charlie Kendall has his thing. David George Sink has his thing.
Yep.
Everyone does something. Yeah, Jeff Caldwell has his thing. Everyone has their thing, and it's like it's interesting playing with all these different people, and so that's what makes it fun for me is just the people, and then kind of bouncing off of what they're doing, kind of reacting to what they're doing, kind of like what can I bring to this? Okay, this particular group, there's so many different just.
You play sax in a lot of different kinds of settings.
I sure do. I sure do. So there's so many different combinations and so many different scenarios, and just, there's places where like you wouldn't traditionally put a saxophone. And so,
Right.
you know, I gotta think differently, because it's like I've never heard music where a saxophone was in this. Like I haven't, like, country music made now. There aren't saxophones in
Right.
country music right now. You know, so I'm thinking, okay, what would a saxophone do? Like,
Well, for one, it makes
how,
me more interested in listening to it.
right? How should a saxophone sound
would definitely
on
make
a
me
country
wanna-
song? Like,
Just automatically becomes Dave Matthews.
yeah, right. Essentially, you know,
Da, da, da.
I'm not trying to do that, but like,
Everything is ants marching.
That's all I can think of.
which I can do.
Well, Jamal, let's listen to another track here. It is from the multi-talented Johnny Holliday and the Silver Linings. Well, you want to tell us a little bit about it? What went into it?
Well, man, let me tell you, Johnny's songwriting is interesting, because he'll just come up with a song that day, and then he'll just be like, okay, here's a new song. And so, like, we'll just kind of do it on the fly. Mm-hmm. So that particular song, he had been playing, I think, for like maybe like 3 weeks or a month or so. Like, it might have been less time than that. Like,
Fast turning around.
I had just heard it, and so it's a pretty simple song. It's kind of bluesy.
Okay.
And we just recorded it. We had a nice video with it on Instagram, and I don't know, we just put it together in like literally like 5 minutes.
Okay.
So that what you're hearing is literally the first take of that.
Oh, beautiful.
You know, so
I love that shit.
So
Man.
I'm like, you
I
know,
like it.
that's
I like it
whatever,
like that,
whatever
yeah.
we said, whatever happened on it. You know?
This is Handful of Moonlight by Johnny Holliday and the Silver Lining.
I said, I have me a lover, sat by the sea. She told me things that I could never see. I'm all alone, reminiscing just like a dream. I said, hands full of moonlight, mouth full of stars. She held me close and said that we would never part. Now goddamn it, where'd that Delta girl go? I said, now tell me, baby, tell me true. Was it river all the oceans felt you? If you're a dream, baby, I don't wanna wake up. If our love is dying, don't resuscitate. I said, I'll take me back to Baton Rouge, mama, where my race is almost won. And before I go, let me tell you about some trouble out. You see, I had me some money, I threw it away. That grace of mama, Lord, it don't mean a thing. I don't need much, just your everlasting soul. You see, call me a low life, live the high life too. If I ever hit the bottom, baby, I'll be getting over you. Oh, mercy me, tell me which way to go. I said, sometimes I get lonely in the middle of the night. Oh, what about my baby? Don't know she's alright. I take a hit, a strong tool for the power. Let the smoke eviscerate my word mind. I'm going down to Southern Creek, baby, where I know I can give me some. You see me off her hair, she just turned her toss away. She give me love, oh, anytime that I call. You see, I love you, baby, you know that it's true. I'll be your dog, I'm not just a fool. I said, you call your daddy, and anything that you need. Go ahead. Do it again. You see, I had me a lover, sat by the sea. She told me things that I could never see. I'm all alone, reminiscing just like a dream.
All right, we're back. So it's guest question time. This is the part of the show where I like to play some questions from the last guests. And for you, my friend, we have a question from, well, I'll let her explain herself.
Hey there, it's Zandrina. This question is for Noah Jessup. Noah, what do you feel your purpose is in life? And do you feel like you are currently living it out?
For those of you who are listening and not watching, he just hit the ground. That was a killer question.
Oh, man.
So get ready for the next 2-hour dissertation.
My purpose.
Noah, your purpose, please.
All right.
Oh, jeez.
My purpose is to try every chicken nugget from here to California.
Oh, you're a big chicken nugget fan?
Dude.
Favorite sauce?
Honey mustard.
I
Dude, I'm just a classic American dude.
don't
I
know,
love
man.
honey mustard.
That's too classic.
That's admirable.
Too classic.
I had you pegged for like a teriyaki or something. Too sweet.
Too sweet, man. Too sweet.
All right.
Wow, my purpose? Oh my God. You know what? I don't know. Because I feel like I keep changing that.
Right.
I keep changing what I feel like my purpose is. But at the end of the day, I think it's to help document. I know it sounds very vague and generic, but ultimately, I think that as when years and years go by and you're looking back on what you've done, I hope that I had bridged people together. I had introduced people and made relationships that changed the path of their lives. I hope I've documented things that I thought were amazing. And like I was saying before, just have some kind of positive influence. You know what I mean? I think music is the way that seems to be the most accessible way to have positive influence and bring people together, but maybe that's not it. I mean, I don't know. I'm 29, but my purpose in 4 years could change. I've always flirted with the idea of going back to school. The certificate that I got from Berkeley is an associate's degree, right? So I didn't have the bachelor's degree certification from Berkeley. So I have definitely thought about going back to school,
At Berkeley or somewhere else?
Somewhere else,
Okay.
getting a bachelor's degree and then applying to law school, and then ultimately doing entertainment law. That's always something that I've flirted with, but that doesn't take anything away from the music. It's just
Totally doesn't.
how do you continue to serve your purpose if you are not growing yourself and growing in your capabilities? And what is more capable than having a bachelor's in science and something like finance or analytics,
Right.
economics, and a law degree?
Yeah.
I mean,
I was going to say, it sounds like part of your skill set, really. It's like a continuation of where you're kind of headed.
Sure.
So, yeah, that's a good idea.
great question, Sandrina.
And Mr. Jamal here, this is going to be a question from my buddy, Andy Masker. He hosted the last show we did, which was a brass show that he actually hosted. And here's a question he has for you.
How has your knowledge as a historian influenced your music, and how has your music influenced your knowledge as a historian?
So how has being a historian impacted my music, and how has being a musician impacted my history? Well, I have a very historical approach to music. I have this thing. I like seeing how did they do it back then? And then how do we do it now? Like, what tools were they using to make these sounds back then? How did they do this? How did Michael Jackson make Thriller? How did he make the greatest album ever? How did, I don't know, the greatest guitar players make these great sounds? How the greatest saxophone players, the greatest, like, you know, like what made them so great? Why were they great? What bad music? What makes music bad? Why do people hate this? Why do I like it? You know, and what particular era, you know, do I gravitate towards? Like, what is there, like a particular era that I gravitate towards? Is there a particular sound that I like? You know, so it's all these different, it's preferences and just things, you know, and just artists and people, how they live their lives and how they made their music. You know, I like studying people. I like knowing how they made their music, and I just like knowing, like, that helps me figure out, okay, this is how they did it, how they got their gigs, how they played their music, how they would approach a song, like David Sanborn is like one of my favorite saxophone players, like, you know, how he would approach playing a solo on a slow song, how he would play it on a funkier song, how he would do it. Like, you know, I like just picking his brain because I like the way he plays. So like, I like seeing it, but you know, there's some things I wouldn't do that Sanborn would do, you know? So I'm like, I'm figuring out who I am by learning who he is.
Helping you define yourself.
And defining myself, like, because I'm not him. I can never be him. But like that, it gives me something kind of to jump off of.
Where are you trying to arrive at as a musician? Do you have a target, or are you just kind of like working on a day to day?
It's kind of where I end up, man. Okay. Like it's a journey, you know. There isn't really a destination really set, you know. It's just kind of where can you go with it? How far can you take it? It's I love playing the saxophone. I love seeing what I can get from it. And it's like, you know, they're making incredible instruments now. I tried a bunch of them when I was in London at the saxophone shop over there. You know, I tried like 20 different saxophones, and you know, the vintage ones are amazing, the new ones are amazing. And it's you can do things you couldn't do 50 years ago.
With the sax, technically speaking, or
well, that's not true. That's not true. But it's easier, I'll say.
Who's the best saxophone player that ever lived?
Andy Masker. No.
Shit. Delete. No, we're not doing that. I'll never hear the end of that shit. I have a couple questions for you that I usually don't throw out my own questions in this section, but I kind of want to know. Two things, and you can respond to either one. All right, either one of you can. What is worth knowing about music, like technically speaking? Like, what is something that you need to know to walk into a gig with in your mind? Like, if you had to say, younger me, have this kernel, right? And secondly, do you ever doubt yourselves, and what do you do about it?
You need to know what key you're in.
Key? Okay. That's a basic place to start.
You need to know.
Yeah.
I think, communication.
Communication.
Really, communication, right? Because that's how you're going to know the key. So the number system.
Verbiage.
Yeah, and just being able to look up, not have to look down at your instrument the whole time. Like, look up, but also rely on your ears. Just like learn how to communicate right off the rip.
Okay.
Because people are going to like yell shit at you. So try to be able to respond instantly. You know what I mean? Go to the bridge.
Right.
245. And you're like, ah. So it's like work on your computing, like in your processing, to make sure that you can absorb that. And you know,
doubting yourselves. You ever do that?
Every day.
Every day?
Yep.
On stage?
Sometimes.
I get interesting answers to those kinds of questions. Sometimes on stage. What do you do about it? Just power through?
Power through it, man.
Okay.
You know? Nothing else.
Deep breaths, meditate.
Nothing else you can do. You're here to play a show. Do it.
What do you think, sir?
The only time I ever have doubt is when I feel like I really don't know the material. Otherwise, I'm on the gig with 110% confidence.
Sweet.
Like, I'll mess up with 110% confidence. I'll start the song in the wrong key, 110% confidence. But if I don't know the material that well, it's really hard to apply that confidence because you just don't know what's happening.
Yeah, that's right.
But of course, doubt, of course.
Okay. Well, let's hear another song, all right? Zookeeper, care to explain it? Tell us who's on it. What's it about?
Zookeeper. This is an extension of the Moodang project. More funk nastiness, more hip hop vocals. Chris on drums, myself on the bass, Love It on keys, and Chris Williams doing the horns on that song.
Okay.
And we just got together in the studio and had a great time. And
Now, who wrote the song? Did you write it together in the group, or did you write it?
Jonathan, Chris, and I just started jamming.
Sweet.
We jammed, and we'd probably jam for 45 minutes, pop that 2.5-minute segment out of a 45-minute jam, and just said, "Hey, maybe we can take this somewhere." But
I'm always fascinated by this process. So you recorded the jam, went back, picked out the parts you liked.
you picked out like the 2.5-minute increments that we liked.
Okay, and then you went back and replayed it.
No, just
Cut it up.
Just rocked with that.
Okay.
Just took like that little segment,
Right.
chopped everything else out, cut out the extra fat, and just kind of, zoomed in on that one.
It's awesome.
And the approach was trying to be like not too analytical about it, because when you're in a studio, the tendency is like, let's use the studio to be a studio. Let's go back and do 150 edits
Right,
and like
right.
how many different plugins, and I'm like, guys, maybe let's do the opposite and see what happens.
Yeah.
And we turned out it's a great result. I mean, there's mistakes in there, but if you listen to the mistakes enough, it becomes the music. It doesn't. It's not a mistake in your mind anymore. Really.
I wasn't listening for mistakes.
No,
but
I know, but just
yeah.
things you're like, oh, I would have done that differently. But it's the music now. So it's like, that's what it is. It's like the way you look in a picture.
Right, right.
I wish I smiled differently, but that's the picture.
Right.
And that's what's on the wall.
Okay. Let's check it out.
Jive turkey, I'ma have to turn to jerky, cause I'm spitting waves of fire and these birds trying to surf me. Clean as the diamond in the back of the lag with the sunroof topping all of that. I'm from the south, watch a mile in my house, so that southern hospitality is scratch. Nothing match, I'm the lighter to the flame, soaring higher than the game, every clue is in my name. Indigo, dig deeper in the soul, let the music take control. It's smoother than bigger rolls when the flow takes hold. The grip is insane, got you wrapped up in the heat of these flames, looking for veins, and we are that dope that you need like soap. Put it in your veins so I know you won't choke. Sit back and relax, enjoy the vibes and coast.
Fragilistic, didn't have a pot to piss, and now he took it up a notch. I'm whizzing on the competition, bitches know I never miss. I hit him with the medicine, about to put him on the news, that's word to David Letterman. And I'ma drop that wreck as soon as the rain fall. When I hear my name called, it's time to play ball. When I hear my name called, it's time to play ball.
All right, and we're back. What can we do to make this town just a tad bit cooler, better? How do we grow this already growing scene in your mind?
You go first. Well, I mean, these criticisms aren't coming from a place of cynicism,
Right.
at all. It's just acknowledgement. But I think that in order for any kind of creative scene to thrive, there has to be some sort of consolidated vision. And what I mean by that is Charleston has some of the most talented individuals in a mindset level and musical level in the entire country. And I've been around to see how people are. They're not like they are in Charleston. But one thing that we as a community don't do, and we've had an inability to do since I've been here in 2018, and I can't speak on before that, but we have an inability to come together, consolidate our resources, and create a vision that we all participate in. And here's what I mean by that. People go back and forth and they say, well, I don't want to make $150 a gig. Well, partner, we're in control of that. We are the ones who control that. But if we don't consolidate our efforts and have the same vision, right, then it's never going to happen. So every issue that we all have, I think, with Charleston and the art scene, and I don't think it's limited to Charleston. I think a lot of art scenes have their own issues. I think ours can be solved if we do come together. And here's an example of how we can come together. More bands. Right. You can do the individual thing all day and play with individual artists, but each person should be in at least 2 or 3 bands that are actively doing the band thing.
No, you mean original music?
Original music.
Do you think that the Charleston kind of pulls that apart though a little bit? I mean, like it's hard to. I mean, I know I've started off. Basically, I am kind of late to the wedding world. I resisted for a long time, which that was kind of short-sighted on my opinion, on my part, obviously. But when you're trying to create an original band, you're fighting against. Let's say if it's a 5-piece band, all 5 of those guys can go make several $100s that Saturday. It's hard to get people together in this town too.
I think you're right.
Maybe a victim of our own success a little bit.
I think that's a byproduct of the bigger issue where we just don't see the same thing, right? And this honestly ties into the first question that you asked about providing value, right? Like what happens if you have 4 people in a band, okay? And 2 of the people provide immense more value to the group as a whole than the other 2, meaning 1 or 2 people in the band can create a website. 1 or 2 of the people in the band knows the power of paid ads on Instagram and social media. They know how to record. They know, like, name the skill set, right? And the other band members don't have skill sets that, like accompany that. Okay. That doesn't work.
Right.
That doesn't work. So what happens in those situations is the other people in the band who we all agree are musically we're there, but with all the other stuff we're not, those people have to put in the work. And that's hard because we also don't do a very good job of holding each other accountable because that's weird and awkward.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's what it would take, right? So like you think of the bands that we love, the Beatles. I mean, say what you want about the Beatles, but each 4 member of the Beatles, each of one of those guys, they brought a lot of value to the situation.
Yeah, they all were giving interviews. They were producing films. They were,
doing stuff on their own to better serve the band while they were the Beatles. And people in Charleston, I think, have, and I say people, I'm not excluding myself. I'm saying all of us, we've just gotten away from understanding that is the key. Like that really is the key. We need to consolidate and we need to figure out how we can help each other and provide equal value to this creative situation. Where's a team sport, dude? It's a team sport. And you can't have one dude playing quarterback and running back. And
especially these days.
No, you can't.
Especially these days.
You can't.
It's way, I was talking about that to plenty of guests. It's not just performing, your instrument anymore. You have to be a brand manager. You have to be into social media. You got to be able to promote yourself. You got to be able to do booking. Everyone has to be able to book some shows.
Right. Or you have to be able to create an ecosystem within your group that does that well.
Right.
And it's like
or differentiates the workload. Yeah.
So I know that's a really long answer to you asking what my criticism is, but that is my criticism. It's just, guys, we got to come together and we have to collect ourselves a little bit and understand like there are imbalances, okay, on the band stage. Like let's even out. And we got to do that work together. But we're here to do it because we all want to benefit. We all want things to be better. We all want to do better gigs. We all want better turnouts at ticketed shows, right? But if we don't apply the same effort, we're just showing up and arguing with each other.
Yeah. When I interviewed Wes and Sean Bing a couple of weeks back, I was talking to them about psychedelics, and that's how they roll, man. It's like all hands in the middle.
That's how you got to be. I mean, you see what's happened with them.
Yeah, exactly.
And how they've kind of taken off on the rocket ship. But that's how you got to be. You got to be. It's a team sport, and doesn't mean you have to do one thing. Doesn't mean, hey man, I'm already in a band. I can't dedicate. No, yes you can. You're a professional. This is what you do. You can be in 3 or 4 bands at one time, but it takes work. And us musicians, I think we're a little scared of that word, that W word.
And calendar. Some musicians just can't hack the phone calendar, which is like, Jesus Christ, that's fucking been, Anyway, thank you for that.
Yeah, of
that's
course.
good shit. What about you, sir?
Oh boy, I guess my main criticisms, I guess, would be just, yeah, it'd be historical, just the entire controversy with plantation weddings and things of that nature. As a former employee of Middleton Place,
Right.
What would you do?
Was a blacksmith there.
No, but
Yes.
what would you do?
Oh, what would I do?
Yeah, what's
To stop plantation weddings?
if that's yes? Like if you're saying, hey, I think this is wrong and this shouldn't happen.
No. So Charleston, you can't escape it. You can't escape being on a plantation. You can't escape what this place was. Slavery is all over this city. It's in the bricks of the buildings. It's in the fields. It's everywhere. You're probably sleeping on top of enslaved bodies right now that they haven't even found yet. It's everywhere. So it's all up and down the East Coast, So if you're gonna say I'm not gonna have a wedding where there were slaves, where slavery happened, then I'm gonna go get married over in Florida. I'm gonna get married in Georgia. Guess what? It was there too. So it's unavoidable, if you're going to have your wedding here. I'm not saying
Right.
stop the plantation
Right, of
weddings,
course.
but I'm saying that the plantations. Well, first of all, I would wish that the plantations that still are in operation would serve as historic sites. That is my wish. I can't tell them what to do. If they want to be wedding venues, then I think, all right, fine. I'm saying the venue, these places have a choice. They should either serve as historic sites or they should serve as wedding venues. They should not try to be both.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying that they're marketing themselves as a Southern experience.
They're marketing themselves as a Southern experience, but also some sort of historical, we care about the slaves. We care about, we want to tell their story. But
Right.
also you have this, literally, I'm trying to give a tour and I have people coming in from a cocktail hour or from a reception. They're making all this noise. I'm trying to tell people about how people were treated back in the 1700s, and they can't even hear me because they're playing all this loud music. I've had that happen. So yeah, I was a historical interpreter.
Okay.
So I basically, I would pick a person, I would study that person, whatever information we have about that person, and then I would try to, create some sort of monologue based off of information that
I
we
see.
have about that person.
Okay.
So, for example, we have the story of Charles Middleton, which I used to do. Charles Middleton was an enslaved man he was at Middleton Place in 1778. He escaped in that year. He disappears. We don't know where he went. Then we find him again in 1782 on a ship manifest in New York going to Nova Scotia. So we know that the British at the end of the Revolutionary War took him to Nova Scotia and gave him his freedom. And we
Okay.
know that because his descendants still live there. And they've been in contact with Middleton Place, years and years and years ago. So it's an incredible story. And it's one of those things that, I told the story as if I were Charles.
Do you feel like Middleton Place is honoring that? I mean, is it?
I think Middleton Place is doing as best as they can
Okay.
with it. It's a lot of the amazing thing about Middleton is that there's so much information that they're sitting on. There's so much to talk about. It's like, how do you post all this up? How do you put it in front of people? There's literally volumes and volumes and volumes of information on every single thing that happened in the last 300 years. And it's like, you're trying to do a 20-minute, 30-minute tour for people. How do you pick and choose which is most important? So it's all kind of a matter of preference. We used to, the way they did it, I don't know if they're still doing it like this now, but the way they would do it is we would give you a packet of information, just useful information, basic things about slavery, how it worked in Charleston, South Carolina history, Middleton Place, everything, how it all relates. And basically you pick and choose from this packet what you think are the most important points of this and deliver it in a 20 to 30 minute tour. I'm saying the plantation should either choose to be wedding venues
one or the other.
or choose to be historic sites. They should not try to be both.
All right. Where do you guys see yourselves in 10, 20 years? What's happening? What's coming down the pipe? Where would you like to be in 20 years?
Where would I like to be in 20 years? I would like to 20 years. I'll be your age, Chop.
Mm-hmm.
I want to love my life. I just want to love it. You know, I want to have kids. I want to love my kids. I want to love their life, and I want music to be a huge part of that. But I also want to make an impact somehow. And by the 20-year mark, I would just want to know what that impact is or what it could be. You know what I mean?
Okay. What about you, Jamal?
You know, I've been kind of trying to define what that is for me, because my mom said something to me when I was younger. She said that every generation should strive to do better than the last. And I've been trying to figure out what better means, you know, what greater means. And for a while, you know, in my youth, you know, I thought that it was, you know, money. I thought it was success. I thought it was, you know, power. I thought it was all these different things, you know. But it was, you know, when I worked like 2 jobs, when I did all that work, back in COVID, when I was doing a whole bunch of stuff, you know, I made the most money I'd ever made in my life. And I was so unhappy, and it killed me in the inside. I hated it. I hated myself. I hated everything. I couldn't stand to be alive. So I said, you know, I think happiness is important. I think, you know, I should strive to be what makes me happy. And it's like, you know, music makes me happy. I like being around, you know, my friends. I like being around family. You know, I like doing what I like. And I would like to have a family. You know, that's one thing that, you know, all my ancestors did. They had families. You know, my dad had a family. His dad had a family. I want to continue that legacy. You know, I would love to have a son or a daughter and teach them whatever it is they want to do. And, you know, just see where they go with it. See if they can do better than I did with whatever I can give them.
Sounds great, man. 20 years from now, I'll probably be dead, but
I don't think so.
Dang,
you won't be.
But if I'm not dead, I'm going to call you guys up and say,
dude, you're not going to be dead at 70.
I want to ask you.
It'd be crazy.
I'm going to ask you if you guys are where you needed to be 20 years from now.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll check in.
Episode number 4,410.
I'll have my AI assistant check in with you.
Oh, you guys are going to have to come back on the show next if I do another season, because I definitely want to talk more about, I wish I could have got to it more today, but I'd really like to talk more about AI and how your age people are planning to incorporate it, because it's here to stay.
It's here to stay, dude.
Sure is.
It's here to stay. Yeah. I mean, eventually AI is just going to make new music for people.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, you'll just say, hey, chill R&B hip hop, and it's
Right.
going to generate new music that doesn't exist for you based on that.
So
criteria.
what do we do then?
Well,
Let's go ahead and have this conversation for a second then. If you have,
like what I was saying before with those 2 pillars of music, the performing arts and the recording, it will further like
yeah.
like totally dissect like the 2. Like it'll further split those right down the middle. You're going to have like the AI world, where you're going to have people who operate AI programs who aren't really going to be music people. They're just going to be more
technicians.
tech. Yeah, more tech, and they're kind of designing features that have musical ability. They're going to have the performing arts. So it's possible that as things become more AI, more digital, the performing arts becomes such a like sought after thing. It becomes what Broadway is now.
Yeah.
It's for kind of like
rarefied in a way.
Yeah, it's like you kind of got to be a little bit like upper class to even understand like the theatrical element of Broadway and pay for the tickets, and you got to go there and you got to park your car, and it's this whole thing, and it's Broadway. And I think that that's what like music as we know it, performing music, is probably headed that way.
That's kind of sad, but it's probably true. I mean, it's only sad to me because I feel like, how does a Dylan work into that? I mean, I guess is he selling himself as a Dylan? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it seems like the will there still be a space for non-technically amazing players? I mean, what is it people are going to see shows for, do you think?
I think people go to see shows now. I think this is also a post-COVID thing for other people in the audience.
The scene.
Yeah. If you really, really like an artist, maybe. But most people go to shows to be present amongst other people. I mean, I've been to a Fish show before.
Right.
I've seen Dead & Co. Like,
yeah.
I really struggled. I know this sounds crazy, but I really struggled to see that the people were there for the music. I was like, they're just here for the experience. Like, this is just...
It's kind of like the backdrop to the experience that they're having.
Dude, the people at the Fish show were betting on what the next song was going to be.
It sounds like a Fish show.
They're making bets, like real bets. And it was like, you don't get the same reaction from sitting in your car, driving home from work, listening to Fish.
Do you think that's why improvisational music is so prevalent these days? I mean, there's a lot of it. You can get that improvisational element in a lot of genres now.
It feels real. Improv feels real. It feels human.
Yeah.
You got to actually go.
It's in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, we're going to leave it at that for today. Great point there.
You guys are amazing.
I think we're going to have to leave it at that. Thanks again for coming to talk to us. Special thanks to everyone listening. And please don't forget to share the show. It really does help so much. We'll be back in another Slightly Mighty episode in 2 weeks. Until then, we'll see you later.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pop, you're awesome.